What's going on, everyone? Great.
Jared, what were some big picture takeaways from the last meeting with Denver that are going to be critical factors to put together a good 48 minutes tonight against them?
Yeah, I mean, this game is going to be physical. It's like that playoff atmosphere like we talked about. It's one of those games where it's going to come down to just execution. A lot of it is just, staying in the moment, staying in the game. Coach has said that a lot.
Coaches also mentioned about you just having such a great feel for the team that you've come into. There's a confidence that you have to take a pull-up three sometimes, but then also like the humility to, find your way within the team flow. How have you navigated that?
I think it's a combination of like just knowing the NBA, like knowing coming to the best team in the league, like you gotta have humility. You can't come in thinking like I'm gonna run the show or something. So I think just knowing it and watching, like being able to watch a few games when I'm on the bench, just understanding like what does coach want at these certain moments, what are certain players, what are their tendencies on my team that they want to get to. And like I know, like if there's an extra pass, extra open player, like you got to swing that, and that's kind of just been instilled in me since I was young. But also having the confidence to just go out there and be myself. I've always prided myself on that, and so I think it's just a balance that you have to find. And sometimes it's going to sway one way or the other, but when you stay as close to that midline as possible, it's fun to play. You find that flow.
How would you describe the way you're feeling physically, confidence right now? Just how's that about coming together for you?
Yeah, I feel amazing. God has blessed me with another day on this earth, so I feel great. Body feels great, and yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season.
It feels like each game is kind of a different lineup for you guys. And you've played with a lot of different groups of players out there on the floor. You get AJ back tonight for you guys. What's that been like for you? Obviously, already coming onto a new team, but it's been kind of a fluctuating rotation.
Yeah, I feel like being on the Sixers has prepared me for playing with those different lineups. You never knew. You never knew it sometimes. Sometimes I didn't know if I was playing or not. But now coming here, it's just like, again, just finding it with new players, and I'm still learning these players. Adding another light skin to the group, so I'm hyped to play with AJ. I've seen him a bunch, watched his film, and even during pre-draft, I knew about him as well. So excited to play with him, and excited for any lineup that comes out tonight.
He's another guy that's that you fall into this Cason where you can just see this drive, kick, and that cycle can continue. What does that do for you guys offensively and to the opposing defense when you're getting that type of rhythm?
Yeah, being able to create any advantage, making the defense just move. That's really all a good offense is just making a move. That's what I think the Warriors did a great job of that when we played them as well. But I think that's what we pride ourselves on, is just creating one advantage and then creating something else, and most of the time leads to an open shot. And so when you play with really good guards, it makes the game super easy. You shake and create an advantage off anything. So being able to just be ready for that shot and be ready to create that advantage is perfect for this game.
This is your second game against the Nuggets in the Thunder uniform. Do you sense the rivalry? The first game you said it was like a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah. I definitely, sense that it's, you come in, it's going to be a physical game, and I think those are some of the most fun to play in. So I'm excited for a new game against, another one of the best teams in the league, and another team that I think that was my first time. I think that was my first time playing the Nuggets in my career. I think I DNP'd the first time I played them with the Sixers. So that was like my first time actually playing, I think. So yeah, hyped to play another new team for me.
So I got a chance to visit the Memorial Museum here recently. What was that experience like?
Yeah, I think just being able to capture like the history of why some of this stuff even is here in the first place, and the tragedy that happened. I didn't know anything about it, and so being able to learn about it and learn what it means to the community, it's awesome to learn about it. But definitely a tragedy. Appreciate you guys. See you guys.
Thunder's got the Denver Nuggets here in town tonight, part of a 4-game homestand for OKC. I've got Cason Wallace here with me, and you started off the homestand with a really thrilling victory over the Golden State Warriors, another 4-steal game for you. That seems to just be a thing almost every night. What do you like best about the way that you guys were able to kind of just get through the finish line of that game despite being shorthanded and winning it with the defense?
I like that we weathered the storm a little bit. We had a rough start to the third, But, we got the car back on the road mid-game and, came out with the win.
You're going to be facing storms throughout the remainder of this regular season, including tonight against a really, really good Denver team. What are some keys for you all in this one as you just kind of get back in action against a team that you saw only 10 days ago or so?
It's a good playoff test for us. It's a very good team, a lot of hype around the game, so it's giving a playoff game vibe. So just having a mindset that this is what we could see later in the season.
You all have gone against a guy like Nikola Jokic so many times now, the way that they try to play through him and the way he tries to pick out passes on cutters. What have you learned about jamming up the passing lanes and making sure that they're not getting those backdoor cuts and that type of thing?
Yeah, a lot of ball pressure, being physical off ball. That'll take away some of the cuts, and they might not be able to make that pass as easy as they usually do.
We also aren't sure quite yet whether a player in Jamal Murray is going to play, but obviously those two guys love to get into pick and roll action. Sometimes Murray is out there just trying to isolate. It's a guy that you've seen more and more frequently over the course of your career. What's key for you if you're matched up on a guy like Murray who's crafty?
Just making sure that I, make his shots hard. He's gonna get some shots up to make sure they're contested and, pursue. Try to get back in front on the pick and rolls.
Yeah, you are one of the guys that's just impossible to screen in this league. It seems like you never seem to take direct contact there. The other thing, just thinking about the Golden State game that seems like will be important tonight is rebounding the ball. Because in that fourth quarter against the Warriors, you guys got into bodies. You forced them into just one shot. Can you put in perspective how big that was in that fourth quarter against the Warriors and how that's going to need to translate tonight?
It's big. It shows up every game, and that we showed that we can do it, and we have to have that mindset the whole game, or they're gonna have easy points on top of what they already make.
In that Warriors game, you had different combinations out there than you typically would have. Guys going out due to injury with Hartenstein and Chet and Caruso. You're going to get A.J. Mitchell back now. What have you all learned over the course of the season about just being able to be flexible based on whoever happens to be available night to night?
We have a lot of trust in the guys that are available, and with A.J. being back, we know that he'll be ready. He's been putting in a lot of work, so just glad to have him back on the court, and he's going to have a good game. You
two have learned to play off of each other over the last couple of years that he's been with the team. What are some ways that you both can kind of amplify each other's games if you're out there at the same time?
He's very good on ball, good at touching the paint, and making the right reads when he get in there. So, and he's a very good shooter. So when I touch paint or whenever we spray the ball out to him, we know he can knock down a shot or make a play.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that drive kick action going on again tonight. Any final keys from you just in terms of like a big picture standpoint, the way that you all need to come out in the opening minutes of this game? It's going to be a little bit earlier tip-off and the opportunity to try to deliver that first punch. What's key?
Yeah, like you said, we got to deliver that first punch. Just try to set the tone early and not be on our heels.
This is a disruptive group. Going to have to try to do that again against a Denver team. Third meeting, one more to come, but this is going to be a big one. Good luck out there, Cason.
Thank you.
All right, that's Cason Wallace. I'm Nick Gallo. This is Thunder Basketball.